Welcome everybody. A little different type of video. Usually I do post-game shows, but this one I'm going to call it the post-season show. My name is Victor Devora. I'll be your host today. I'm joined today with Juan Maldonado. Juan, thank you for joining me. You've been ducking me for a little bit.
It's been a busy season, so now we have time.
Of course. Juan, can you please tell everybody who you are? I know probably everyone knows, but for those who don't.
Sure, as Victor said, my name is Juan Maldonado. Grew up in a town called Mammoth Lakes, California. Originally born in Mexico. And then moved into San Bernardino, played soccer there for a little bit, and then found my way to Kansas Wesleyan, and I've been here for 10 years now in Salina. People probably think I'm from here, but no, not.
I'm glad you brought up your playing. So you ended up here with Kansas Wesleyan. Tell us about that journey.
It's kind of a trip because so I was playing junior college in San Bernardino, California. It's down south. So I played 2 years there, met a lot of great people. I was actually signing to another D2 school, Holy Names University, where Gabe Romo was. So I was dead set on going there, staying in California. And then Gabe hit up me and my boys, because there was 4 of us that were gonna sign. He hit us up like in March. Like, hey, I got this opportunity to go to Kansas State and start that program. I'm sorry, but I'll give you guys the information to the new coach. Well, the new coach didn't want us. Bottom line, he was looking to reshape the whole team. So this is March, and then it turned to April and May. And then in May, Gabe said, hey, I know this school, like I feel bad, but I know this school in Kansas that would take all you guys in a heartbeat. They had Kansas Wesleyan had always recruited heavily out of California, so we said, screw it. We didn't even look at the school, we just wanted to play. And so 5 of us got into a little car and we drove out, and we signed to Kansas Wesleyan. And then, fell in love with the community, the people here, my teammates. Had my kid senior year, so that kept me and my wife together because she was on the women's team, and Salina just adopted us, and we've been here ever since.
Well, we're grateful to have you here. Will you reflect a little bit on what made you want to stay in Salina? I know you talk about Mammoth Lakes, and for our viewers that don't know that beautiful place, California is not Kansas, so reflect a little bit on that.
Like I mentioned, I'm from Mammoth Lakes, which is up north in the mountains, and I moved down south where I met my wife. She's from Riverside, and both places, once we were graduated and looking at moving back, terribly expensive for a new family, crowded like no other. We just wanted something different for our kids. And I was a teacher at Salina South High School, so I kind of liked how the students had it here, how just everything ran, and how everybody was so family oriented. So we decided, you know what, let's try to raise our son here for a little bit. And here we are, 9 years later, 10 years later almost. Just that family atmosphere, the small town feel, but you still have all the opportunities. So, we spend all our time in Kansas City, Wichita. If we do want to feel like, the big city vibe, but that's what we love most about Salina and still do. It's the small town feel, but at the same time, you have all the opportunities you need.
Of course. So shifting gears a little bit, let's go ahead and talk about this year, right? For those of you who don't know, CKU UPSL wasn't always named CKU UPSL. Last year, our inaugural year, we were named Foot 4 UPSL. So Juan, talk to us a little bit about this one in the middle, okay? Why the name change?
It's funny, Foot 4 was Foot 4 Academy. Foot 4 Academy, because it was always in my mind that I was going to develop players. I was a coach at Salina South High School. I was 22 coaching these kids, started real young. As soon as I graduated college, actually I was at Central first, then Salina South, but I always wanted to have a club team, but with KSHA rules, I couldn't be a club coach. So I waited like 3 or 4 years, and then I just wanted to do my own thing. And then actually it was Salina FC first that that we started. It was me, Carlos Loreto, Mark Martin. Since I couldn't coach, Carlos was the head coach. And that's where the idea started coming about. I saw, okay, it's possible to have our own club team. I was learning the ins and outs. And then, yeah, I mean, we went through FC Wichita. We were part of them with FC Wichita North. I didn't like it. There was North Central Kansas here in Salina, you know, and I just wanted my own thing. I wanted my stamp, what I believed in. And so I'd do a bunch of private lessons. So people were like, why don't you just start a club? And the idea kept forming. I brought this up actually in 2021. I have the slideshows from way back then of me presenting it to people, but nobody would buy in. And then God dropped Bruce Palmbaum here in Salina last year. He was only here for a year, but as soon as I told him about the idea, he said, I'm in. And my guys need to play in the summer, and your guys need to play, your young guys. And so he said, what are you gonna name it? I didn't really know because I hadn't given it much thought. I thought it was gonna be Salina FC or something, but then I was like, you know what? I've been working hard with Foot 4, so I'm just gonna go with Foot 4 Academy. I knew it would change eventually, but I just went with Foot 4 Academy and then just kept growing and growing. So then, you know, this year, I sat down with you and a couple of people and I said, I wanted to be like an actual club, like in Europe, like in South American countries where the oldest teams, you know, and the youngest have the same jerseys. We're all named the same. We're all uniform in one. And yeah, well, you were part of those meetings. We talked to a ton of people. We have a bunch of players from Hayes, McPherson, Wichita. So we wanted something that would include everybody. So the idea with CKU came up, and yeah, man, it's been growing ever since we switched.
Of course. Now, let's reflect on the season. Now that you've given a little history lesson, I pulled up some stats, okay?
Yeah.
Real quick, how in your opinion, how did the season go?
It's a frustrating one, because to me, and every coach will say this, but I'll stand behind it. We had the best team in the league. We had the potential to be every single team except for Sporting Wichita. As you know, that day was kind of strange for us as an organization. So every single team we had the opportunity to beat or tie, we missed. I mean, it's unheard of. No team ever misses 5 PKs to win or tie a game, and our team did. Shoot, even our best players missed, and so it's frustrating because we should be happy getting into playoffs your second year, you know, fighting for that spot. But again, just like in that last game, it's frustrating because we didn't. I don't feel like we got a fair shake. We play that team 9 out of 10 times we beat them. We had a red card from the 8th minute, and I just, you know, it doesn't sit well with me. I can't. I want to be happy, but I can't. So we're already talking about next season and the guys I want to see, the guys we want to bring back, the young guys we want to call up. As an organization, though, happy. I think we're the only team in the conference that really stands by what we say. You know, we love our internationals. I love them, but even they know that my mission is develop these young players. You have a guy like Hera who gets to train with Rigo, who gets to train with Seth, Rylan. We played all these young guys. I mean, if you think about it, we had, I was counting, we played 6 or 7 of our Salina kids that came up in our club teams. I don't think many teams could say that. And we played them in big games. We started Rylan in that quarterfinal. Rigo started a game against Almadina and scored. We put Luke as our goalie when we were beating Eagles. And there's a ton I'm missing, but all these guys that grew up here, Seth was on our club team. I mean, Boob was a legend here, grew up here, got to play. Esteban, even Papa from Dodge City, you know, all those guys, they're part of the mission. They're what I believe in. And so the organization-wise, it was great because I don't see teams like, I mean, Emporia did well, but they went and recruited 20 international guys. I don't know if they have one Emporia guy. Same with Sporting. I like what Dodge does. I mean, Dodge, they play Angel Lopez, 18-year-old kid. He's great. He's the top scorer in the UPSL. Um, but they also went and got a bunch of international guys. So we're all domestic. Even our best player, Head, he's domestic. He's from New Mexico. And so, organization-wise, I think we're standing on business, so to speak, and we're really standing behind our model. So I'm happy with that part.
Of course, you talk about the young guys. Talk to me about the academy side of CKU.
Well, again, organization-wise, we're doing well. I think if we count all the preschool teams and all the teams beneath us, I think there's like 22 teams. That's all in 1 year. So we're, again, standing by what we say. This is true development. We're starting from preschool, making sure we have a pipeline for these guys. They go to our games, they sit there, they have some of their favorite players, they hop on the field after, and just, you can see, like, there's a straight line if they want to play for us. And we're already talking about, which of the U19s we call up for next year. And so, yeah, it's just good to see, because I want, even the preschool kids, we see some of those kids and we're like, oh, he's special. And now they see the CKU, they're wearing the same jerseys, and I mean, hopefully one day they're playing on the team as well.
Yeah, talking about preparations for the off season, what is the UPSL team doing to organize for next year? It's a year-long process, although the fans only may see the four months that we play from April to July. But where do we spend the rest of the time?
As you know, we're gonna do a lot of time, or spend a lot of time fundraising this year, starting early. I think creating good connections with, we've talked about creating connections with these coaches in the area. For example, we had the Hoxie brothers play for us for MACU, which I think is great, because in the future we can get players from there. I would love to reach out to Hayes. We have a good connection with Kansas Wesleyan, so we'll always get players from there. But I think that's where the bulk of our time will be spent, is really recruiting guys that fit our system. Is not just, oh, I'm gonna get these international guys just because of the name. Like, no, we have a group of guys that, as you know, they're a unit. Bunch of guys that are the hugs, like, there's another way to put it. They fight for every single ball, and not every guy will give you that. So if they don't fit our style, I think next year we have the opportunity to really be selective. Of course, everybody's gonna want to play for us, but it's like, okay, if you don't fit this system, if you don't fight 100% for every freaking ball that's out there, then you don't play for CKU.
Of course, some big questions that have come up is, I hear this from the kids, is how does an old guy like you stay fit?
I wouldn't say fit, but this year, as you know, I wasn't gonna play. I was gonna coach. I was ready for that step, and then center back started dropping off. People started getting injured, and I'm always ready. I mean, I'm playing Sunday league, and I know it's not much, but I'm playing every single weekend. Trying to stay active. For me, it's just the love of the game. I mean, I'm always gonna love it. I'm gonna be playing in the over 50s leagues and be slide tackling another old man. So that's just me. I just love it, and I have a passion for it. So it's not even about staying fit. Like we talk about, it's that mentality. I mean, you have guys like Boo that they've done everything. He's won everything for Salina, so what does he have left? But he finds those, he has that intrinsic motivation where I just love this game, I love this town, and still got something to prove. So that's what it was for me, is just, I guess, hey, I can still do this even though I'm 30. And guys are talking a lot of crap in the games, and I'll be like, dude, if I'm keeping up with you, you have a problem. Like, when I was 17, no 30-year-old was gonna stop me. And again, it's just that mindset of, I'm a dog, and I still love this game, and I still have a lot to prove. But yeah, I'm hoping next season I can step back and just coach, and really just coach these guys, because I'm ready for that.
Well, it's great that you bring up next season. Staffing wise, have you identified a new head coach yet? Have you started looking? I know that people were probably wondering what next year would look like in terms of staff.
Hey, we have all the hard questions today, huh?
I gotta only get you in the seat once a year. I might as well put you to the test.
Well, the season just ended last week, but I know I want to be part of the coaching staff. I don't know if I'll be head coach or not, but I'll for sure be in there. We talk about some of our coaches in the area. You know, if we really want this to be like a funnel, or have our academies be a funnel for the UPSL team, then we really got to stand behind that. And so there's coaches doing great things. Like one that comes to mind is Ben Featherston. He has a little crew team, and they run well. And so I know he would do that for an older team. So I've thought of him. We'll see if he's willing to do that. Shout out Ben. And then yeah, well, Vic, you and Sergio will always be involved. I don't know if you guys want to do coaching or you stay with the U19s. But those are 4 people I know in the area that will for sure, include me, you, Victor, and Ben, for sure be a part of it. Maybe Eric Lopez, because Eric Lopez is heavily involved in the local scene too. And he commentated one of our games, so I know he's into it now. Yeah, so it's always good to have, you know, your experienced guys, and then I would probably get a young coach, maybe from Hayes, from Kansas Wesleyan, to join the staff as well, just so we can have that fresh perspective. You know, we had Sebi, for example, was great because he got hurt, but we know he knows a lot of soccer, so it was perfect once he became a coach. I mean, he won, what was it, 3 games? And so that says a lot about him, and I just gave him the keys and he did well. So yeah, that's what I haven't thought too far about it, Victor, but there's some things working up here, and as we get closer, I'm sure we'll have more answers.
17-year-old Juan Maldonado, staying in the great state of California. Did he think, oh, you're not 30?
Dang, keep it down. Close.
Close, 27?
21.
Did you think, 17-year-old self, that you would be leading one of the biggest changes in a town that you probably have never heard of?
No, I wasn't even 17, man. I was actually getting ready to go to Mexico because my aunt works there, and she wanted me to go try out for Chivas Academy. I never did. You probably know, because I wasn't guaranteed to come back, and so I never took that opportunity. So 17-year-old me was not thinking about that. I graduated at 17, so I did get to go play at JUCO, but never did I think that I would even be coaching. I thought I'd be playing still, and I am technically. I thought I'd be playing. Life works out, and I think this is one of my greatest achievements, is providing an opportunity for guys in the area. Because, like I said, it's not just Salina. Yes, my Salina guys are getting the most benefit, but I think of like Diego Mueller, his D1 player from Russell, Kansas, small town as well, and he comes and he has a home, and he knows that. He always comes back and he has a home here. So it's guys like him that we want to include. The Hayes boys come and train with us a lot. McPherson boys come and train with us a lot. So it's just an opportunity for those kids. I mean, we talk about like the U17s that you coach with Mark and Sergio, and I would love for players like Adrian, Lada, and Griffin to come here as well and give it a shot. That's where my mind's at. Of course, we're always going to get like some great older guys to fill other roles, but my main focus is on the young guys right now.
Last one, and I'll let you go, because I know both of us have busy lives. You probably have a little bit busier with the young ones you have at home. What's some advice you would give to all the young CKU kids that you wish someone, when you were their age, would have given you?
That's a good question. This year I had four CKU guys live in my basement, and this is probably advice just because of how they live their life. So they're all super disciplined, all 4 of them. they don't go out, they don't party, they don't do any of that stuff where other young guys that grow up here kind of get caught up in the mix. And so if I had some advice, it would be stay away from the distractions. Because you start getting into high school and it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to go to these parties, to do all these dumb things. So just, having those guys there around my kids, they're just a great example. So it's not coming from me, it's coming from them. If you stay disciplined, you stay focused, you grow up to be like Hera, like Mateo, like Sebi, Andres. Hera has a trial in Spain in 2 weeks. Like, what kid wouldn't want that? They're calling him back to go to stay at their place for 2 weeks, and that's crazy. And he deserves it. I mean, but any 17-year-old boy would want the chance to go play pro in Spain. And so, yeah, my advice would be just stay disciplined, stay focused, and don't let these distractions, take you off course.
Well, Juan, thank you again for taking the time. I know we said it's a long season. I've been begging to get you in this chair. But on my side, and I'm sure the entire Salina community agrees with me, we thank you for the efforts that you put in. I personally think there's nobody else more motivated in this town to restore soccer as you are. You are hungry. You are...
There's somebody next to me.
You're hungry. You're humble. And we're grateful to have you come. So we thank the great state of California for sending you over. Shout out to that college for getting a new coach. So,
Gabe Romo.
Yep.
Screwed me over.
So, a couple big announcements are coming soon. Please stay tuned to our social media. There's some CKU history that you guys, the viewers, are going to be able to take part of, and can't share too much details.
I'll give him a little hint.
I don't want to smoke the waters up, but
Smokey the Bear.
No, Bison.
Buffy.
The Buff, bro.
Buffy.
So we are talking about this?
No, just keep. This is it. This is all they get.
What about
Smokey the
Striker?
Bear.
It's Buff.
Buff the Bear.
No, it's Smokey the Buff.
Smokey the Buff.
Gorilla.
I like that one.
No, we're not getting into this.
No, give me the other two. There's two more options.
There's Claw
Claw the Hawk.
the Hawk. Striker the Diamondback.
Oh, the Diamondback. Okay, those are the four because the other ones are.
Yeah. Well, leaked information that may end up in this video. No, it will. But there will be some history that you guys will be able to take part of. But make sure you think about your choice before we cast the vote. Juan, anything else you want to add? I think it's been a great little session.
Just I want to thank everybody else for coming out to our games, and of course to all of our sponsors. It's been great, especially like Candiles, Long MacArthur, 2 years in a row providing transportation. Mike Ritter Tile this year being one of our main sponsors. Yeah, and so all of them, like, I can't thank people enough. 3J's has helped us out a ton.
Don't forget about Luis.
Luis the Barber.
Luis
You will never forget him. Luis the Barber on our shorts this year with Carl's Cuts. We gotta thank them. And again, this is the reason why I stayed in Salina. It's the close community. We can literally go to our barber and say, "Hey, do you want to sponsor the team?" And they were actually one of our first sponsors last year with Luis and Jerry. And so yeah, I'm just forever grateful for everybody that's been a part of it, for supporting us. There's a couple teams that go to every single one of our games, and so that's a good feeling. Yeah, just thank you all for that.
And thank you guys. None of this, what we do, would matter if we didn't have the support from the amazing community that we do. I wake up every morning proud to be part of this organization, proud of the kids, because it's a great feeling. It's something that I lacked as a kid, for someone who did grow up here. And seeing the fields full again, hearing the kids call for the ball, hearing the laughs, when they score, it's amazing. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And good night.
Have a good night, Juan.